cash build around. Each correct answer is worth £1,000. Chris, are you ready?
Yep.
I wish you luck. Your time starts now. In Greek myth, the Trojan horse was made out of what material?
Pain.
Wood, yes, I'll give you that. The Swedish chef was a character in what kids' TV show?
The Muppet Show.
Correct. Which famous Scottish king was killed by the future ruler Malcolm III?
Pass.
Macbeth. What are the only consecutive months that begin with the same letter?
June, July.
Correct. Film director Jim Threppleton was the first husband of which film actress?
Pass.
Kate Winslet. Spices that come from the same fruit are mace and what?
Pass.
Nutmeg. Which former Labour Foreign Secretary became a dame in 2013?
Pass.
Margaret Beckett. Which operatic quartet released the 2011 album Wicked Game?
Pass.
Il Divo. Europa Point is the southernmost tip of what British overseas territory?
Gibraltar.
Correct. Which Cluedo suspect is a man of the cloth?
Raven Green.
Correct. The soundtrack for the film Tron Legacy was written by which French dance act?
Daft Punk.
Correct. In America, the Breeders' Cup race is up. No time to get there for you. I wish you luck. Here we go. Your time starts now. In a tournament or competition, what stage precedes the semi-final?
The quarter-final.
Correct. Which pop star was briefly a member of Bow Wow Wow before joining Culture Club?
Boy George.
Correct. Woodrow Wilson's 14 points were the basis for peace at the end of what war?
Second World War.
World War I. What word is in the name of league football clubs from Doncaster and Bristol?
Rovers.
Correct. How many minutes in 2.5 hours?
150.
Correct. The 1960 film The Alamo was directed by which Hollywood actor?
John Wayne.
Correct. Baroness Boothroyd of Sandwell has what first name?
Betty.
Correct. Happy Slapped by a Jellyfish is a book by which Ricky Gervais show star?
Carol Pilkington.
Correct. In horse racing, the Fillies Triple Crown is the 1,000 Guineas, St Ledger and what other race?
Pass.
The Oaks. At roundabouts, priority is given to vehicles coming from what direction?
The right.
Correct. The Welsh Assembly was formed in what decade of the 20th century?
The 90s.
Correct. In 1841, Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Your time starts now. The Conundrum is the final round in what long-running TV game show?
Pass.
Countdown. A made man has been formally given full membership of what Italian criminal group?
The Mafia.
Correct. What was the nickname of the MASH character Major Margaret Houlihan?
Hot Lips.
Correct. The home shirts of Swansea City are mainly what colour?
White.
Correct. Whoopi Goldberg masquerades as nun Sister Mary Clarence in what film series?
Sister Act.
Correct. What book focuses on the friendship between Bruno and Shmuel in World War II?
Pass.
The Boy in the Striped Pyjamas. Which king had a mistress called Elizabeth Blunt?
Charles II.
Henry VIII. The Rubicon is a famous stream in what modern-day country?
Italy.
Correct. In 1971, the Valles Marineris Canyon system was discovered on what planet?
Mars.
Correct. The Dolphins and the Jaguars are American football teams from what US state?
Miami.
No, it's Florida. What type of eyeglass gets its name from the French for one eye? Out of time.
Monocle.
Yeah, monocle would have been right, of course. It's the Miami Dolphins of Florida.
I do that in pub quizzes. I dive in too quick.
Well, don't worry. So do the dolphins, to be fair. But then again, they're aquatic animals. Good luck. Your time starts now. In what American sport do teams usually have 9 innings?
Baseball.
Correct. What stimulant is removed from coffee beans using the Swiss water process?
Caffeine.
Correct. In what Jim Carrey film is he cursed to tell the truth for 24 hours?
Liar, liar.
Correct. Alexandria in Egypt lies on the west side of the delta of what river?
Pass.
The Nile. Which actor and entertainer released the autobiography Rags to Riches?
Pass.
Shane Ritchie. In the 1670s, which Welsh pirate was arrested for sacking Panama?
Pass.
Henry Morgan. The original lineup of what girl band are now known as MKS?
No.
Sugar Babes. What work by Stephen Hawking is subtitled From the Big Bang to Black Holes?
A History of the Universe.
A Brief History of Time. JFK and what other major airport are on Long Island in New York City?
Pass.
LaGuardia. In Japanese cuisine, onigiri are stuffed balls of what grain? No time to get there for you, Irene. £3,000. Good luck, your time starts now. What Asian eating implements give their name to a simple piece of piano music?
Chopsticks.
Correct. From 1352, the House of Commons often met in what abbey?
Westminster Abbey.
Correct. In Shakespeare, which villainous king falls in love with Anne Neville?
Pass.
Richard III. What university city stands at the meeting point of the Thames and Cherwell?
Pass.
Oxford. In the film Elf, which comedian played Buddy as an adult?
It's Will Self.
No, it's not Will Self, Will Ferrell. The term brainwashing was popularised during what 20th century conflict?
The Cold War.
Korean War. Which missionary is traditionally credited with writing 14 books of the New Testament?
Pass.
St. Paul. James Cleveland were the real first names of which star American athlete of the 1930s?
Pass.
Jesse Owens. In what 1958 film does Christopher Lee say the line, "Sleep well, Mr. Harker"?
Dracula.
Correct. In England and Wales, what two letters does a magistrate have after their name?
JP.
Correct. OK. I wish you well. Your time starts now. A best man traditionally makes a speech after what ceremony?
A wedding.
Correct. Which Scottish queen was played by Vanessa Redgrave in a 1971 film?
Mary, Queen of Scots.
Correct. The Cornish Night Riviera train leaves from what London station 6 days a week?
Paddington.
Correct. In Shakespeare's play, the ghost of which of his relatives appears to Hamlet?
I can't remember. Pass.
His father. The name of which British people came from the Roman for painted or tattooed?
Picked.
Yeah, correct. The flag of Tunisia has a crescent and what other symbol inside a white circle?
Star.
Correct. A female insect uses an ovipositor to deposit what?
No idea. Pass.
Eggs. The SMI Swiss Market Index is based in a stock exchange in what city?
Geneva.
Zurich. The Square is the magazine of what ritualistic organisation?
Pass.
Freemasons. Submission and Ripsaw are thrill rides at what theme park?
Park.
Alton Towers. Good luck. Your time starts now. What style of shirt is named after the letter it resembles when laid out flat?
Pass.
T-shirt. Which British ex-footballer voiced Freddie the dog in the film Madagascar 3?
Paul Gascoigne.
Vinnie Jones. With what branch of literature was Sylvia Plath chiefly associated?
Pass.
Poetry. What substance is normally used in an hourglass to measure time?
Sand.
Correct. Starring Stephanie Cole, what TV sitcom was set in the Bayview retirement home?
Pass.
Waiting for God. What's your average speed if you run a mile in 4 minutes?
20 miles per hour.
15 miles per hour. Charles Kennedy succeeded Paddy Ashdown as leader of what party?
Liberal Democrats.
Correct. What Mediterranean port is home to the Stew bouillabaisse?
Pass.
Marseille. Prior to 1809, Finland was part of what country?
Austria.
Sweden. Dactylitis is inflammation of the toes and what other parts of the body?
Foot.
Fingers. Good luck, your time starts now. To have influence over someone is to have them wrapped around your what?
Finger.
Correct. The Robert Redford film Downhill Racer is about what winter sport?
A scheme.
Correct. According to its title, how much is the 1928 opera by Brecht and Weil worth?
Pass.
3 pennies. The Jack Hobbs Gates are a feature of what London cricket ground?
Lords.
The Oval. Spain's border with what British overseas territory was shut for 13 years?
Gibraltar.
Correct. What 1955 film musical starred Doris Day and Frank Sinatra?
Pass.
Young at Heart. What dizzy condition is often incorrectly said to be a fear of heights?
Vertigo.
Correct. A grandma in a black coat was the most famous creation of which cartoonist?
Pass.
Giles. In the title of a Vladimir Nabokov novel, Dolores Hayes is known by what name?
No idea.
Lolita. Red Marauder and Red Alligator both won what famous horse race?
The Grand National.
Correct. Shooting Star was the 1978 debut single of which British pop duo?
No idea.
Would have been Dollar. Your time starts now. What footwear is commonly sold in a set with a dressing gown?
Slippers.
Correct. Daisy Duck has 3 nieces called May, June and what?
Daisy.
April. Mumba Devi is the patron goddess of what Indian city?
Krishna.
Mumbai. I see an empty chair where Tiny Tim once sat is a quote in what Dickens work?
Christmas Carol.
Correct. What colour is most closely linked with being financially in credit?
Black.
Correct. The surname of which Oscar-winning US film director is Italian for goat?
Pass.
Frank Capra. What type of carpentry joint shares its name with a garment for keeping the neck warm?
Collar.
Scarf. America's Jack Kramer was a top player and long-time representative for what sport?
Baseball.
Tennis. Which Northern Ireland politician was granted the title of Lord Bandside?
Pass.
Ian Paisley. In what film do Tom Hanks and Robert Loggia play chopsticks on a giant floor piano?
Big.
Correct. The crew of which Apollo mission travelled... Great answer. Well played. I wish you luck.
Thank
Your
you.
time starts now. In the Shakespeare play, who does Juliet Capulet marry?
Romeo.
Correct. Formula One Grand Prix races take place on what day of the week?
Sunday.
Correct. In what Roald Dahl book does the title character live with his aunts Spiker and Sponge?
Jameson Drake Beach.
Correct. Andrea Begley won what TV talent show in 2013?
The Voice.
Correct. The word brute describes champagne that is very what?
Sir.
No, it's dry. What Irish lake separates the Upper Bann River from the Lower Bann?
Pass.
Loch Ney. What fluid used to thin paint comes from the resin of coniferous trees?
Thinner.
Turpentine. What Goes Around Comes Around was a 2007 top 10 hit for which American pop star?
Pass.
Justin Timberlake. What's 4/5 of 200?
80.
160. What equipment does a violinist not use when playing pizzicato?
Pass. I knew what it was and I couldn't think of the word for it. Yes.
The bow. Good luck. Your time starts now. In the nursery rhyme, who said to the pieman, "Let me taste your ware"?
Simple Simon.
Correct. What word connects a lightweight shoe and a device to put air in tyres?
Pump.
Correct. What US sitcom featured a character called Screech?
Pass.
Saved by the Bell. What metal goes before crystal in the name of a type of glassware?
Lead.
Correct. There are just 2 phalange bones in what toe of the human foot?
Big toe.
Correct. The film Oh Brother Where Art Thou is based on what epic poem?
Pass.
The Odyssey. Virgin Active and LA Fitness are chains of what?
Gym.
Yes, I'll give you that. Health clubs. The members of what US punk band had the first names Dee Dee, Tommy, Joey and Johnny?
Oh, Sex Pistols.
The Ramones. What colour is the fur of the Sesame Street character Elmo?
Pink.
Red. Which of the Queen's children is named after his paternal grandfather?
Edward.
Andrew. In what decade of the 20th century was the world's first blood bank opened? No time to get there for you. 1930s would have been the right answer to that question. All right, your time starts now. Welsh singer Thomas Woodward is better known by what stage name?
Pass.
Tom Jones. What political party expelled Derek Hatton for being a militant tendency member?
Labour.
Correct. In New York, the Verrazano Narrows Bridge connects Brooklyn with what island?
Long Island.
Staten Island. Dame Rose Hilbrun was the first female judge to sit at what major London court?
Criminal Court.
Yes, well, Central Criminal Court, I'll give you that. What organisation began transmitting TV from Alexandra Palace in 1936?
BBC.
Correct. Who was the first man to win the Wimbledon singles as a wild card?
No idea.
Goran Ivanisevic. 1903 Flyer was the name of the first plane belonging to what pair of brothers?
Wright Brothers.
Correct. What state is bordered by South Australia and New South Wales?
Victoria.
Correct. Which Harry Potter character owns a 3-headed pet dog called Fluffy?
Oh, Hagrid.
Correct. Inventor Alexander Bell had what middle name added when he was 11 years... Couldn't get there for you. It was, of course, Graham.